Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's live stream broadcast. We are back here for 2025 high school football, and the opening game of the season is a good old-fashioned rivalry here in Cowlitz County. The Kelso Hilanders from the Greater St. Helens League 3A division will take on the Mark Morris Monarchs out of the 2A version of the Greater St. Helens League here at Longview Memorial Stadium. Good to have you all with us once again for another season of N2 Media live streaming coverage. Nick Sisson here on behalf of N2 Media as always. We've got a good one on tap here for everyone tonight. Getting the starting lineups here in just a few moments over the loudspeaker from Ken Kelly, the PA voice. Last season, these two teams met in week number 1 over at Kelso High School, and it was a 44-12 victory for the Hilanders. And they look to continue to exert their dominance over Mark Morris ever since the beginning of the rivalry between Mark Morris and Kelso. Overall, this will be the 49th matchup here between the two squads. Kelso winning 38 of those, only 9 defeats and 1 tie. Mark Morris will be looking for double-digit wins over the Hilanders with a victory here tonight, potentially. Fans, we do feature a live stream comment section. Be sure to type in to that comment section where you're watching from and who you are rooting for. The captains are heading out towards the middle of the field. Captains for the home team, the Mark Morris Monarchs, are number 3, Ryek Perner, number 5, Kevin Hernandez, number 24, Bradley Lewis, and then number 71, Jacob Trotter. Now on the other side for the Hilanders, number 2, Anders Dahl, number 44, Blake Larwick. Trying to peek through there. It looks like number 6, Alex Dieter. And just going to lock up the last one there. I'm thinking 87, Kyle McCreary. And I am correct. Kelso will receive the opening kickoff. So the Mark Morris defense will be on the field first to start their season. High hopes here for Mark Morris coming into this year. A lot of skill position guys back. The big question is basically going to be, coming along with the quarterback position this year. A little bit of change. Both quarterbacks from last season, Carter Huda and Nate Stevens, moving on. They're the combination of Hunter Nelson and Aaron Ibarreta, although we might see some other options, out to here. Kicking it off for the Monarchs and getting the season underway is Yin. Back deep for the Hilanders, Mason Hansen and Zayden Hoover. And the 2025 season is underway. An end-over-end short kick is fielded by Hoover, and Hoover takes it down the middle, now moving towards the outside, moves inside, back outside, gets around the edge at midfield, shoulders into contact, and he's ridden out of bounds. A really good return there of about 45-ish yards for Zayden Hoover, who had a great game against the Monarchs, and he gets the Hilanders already in plus territory to start the ball game. And here comes Kelso with their first possession of the season. Anders Dahl behind the center, and a handoff, immediately some contact and a swarming tackle by 3 Monarchs. In there was number 71, Jacob Romero Trotter. It's going to be a short gain, and the first carry of the season goes to Mason Hansen for the Hilanders. Second down and 8. And it's a handoff coming left side through the 90 hole, and again, it's sniffed out. Bradley Lewis sliding over there, helped make that tackle. Third down and 9 now. The Kelso offense facing their first third down of the season. Trips to the top here, and the snap nearly gets away. Dahl somehow corrals it. Now he's in trouble, throws it back across his body. Low pass, and it looks to be complete. That could be crucial there, because now it looks as if Kelso is going to automatically be going for this. If it was an incomplete pass, they might have thought a little bit about playing field position, but in this situation, you got to go for it here. An early fourth down in Mark Morris territory. Three backs, and it's a handoff left, and looking to get the edge, and not going to be able to get there, but 2 flags are thrown. Helmet is off. It's probably going to be a penalty here against Mark Morris of the face mask variety. And it is going to be a penalty here. So Kelso, instead of turning the ball over on downs on that tackle, is going to keep the drive alive here and move deeper into Monarchs territory. Hansen, the deep back here in the pistol. And it's a handoff. Moving back towards the near sideline. Spin move back inside, and the tackle made at the 5-yard line. There is a penalty flag down. Nope. Maybe I'm not seeing that correctly. Looked like there was definitely something yellow there. There is something yellow. It looks like there is a flag down. The referee just picked it up and put it in his back pocket. So a penalty is actually called. Confusing here. Looks to be holding here against Kelso. About 5 yards for Hansen, but he is brought down. It's going to bring up second down now. Second down and 8 officially. Dahl runs the option, but it's blown dead. It's going to be another penalty. So a false start's going to back it up 5 yards. going to bring up second down and 13. Under 8 minutes to go now here in the opening quarter. Two backs here in the pistol for Dahl on this second down and 13 play. Dahl has to go back inside, throws it back in, and it's nearly caught, and then it's also nearly intercepted. Dahl got rid of it, threw it out to Blake Larwick, and Larwick got his hands on it and then popped it up in the air, nearly an interception there right behind it, but instead it's just an incomplete pass, but pressure immediately. I believe that was Kevin Hernandez on the pressure. Dahl rolling to the near side, faces up, back across his body, has a man, catch is made at the 5-yard line. That is going to be a first down. It is going to be Zayden Hoover with the reception. A great throw on the run as well there by Dahl. Decker Bartel credited with the tackle. First down and goal. Handoff. Hansen into contact, and he is gang tackled after a short gain. It'll be second down and goal, and Trotter there for the tackle. Three backs now. Nope. Yep, three backs now. Hard to count them all. Handoff, Hansen. Can't get in there. In there on the tackle is Ryak Perner. It's going to bring up third and goal. .6:03 to go. This drive started at Monarchs territory around the 40-yard line. Two fullbacks here, and Hansen behind Dahl. Handoff back to the right and into the end zone. Touchdown, Kelso. Number 15, Mason Hansen with the touchdown. Gives Kelso an early 6-0 advantage. Extra point coming here. Jay Waddell with the PAT attempt, and the kick is low, and it's not going to get there. That is no good, so it'll stay 6-0, but the Hilanders strike first on the opening possession of the ball game. They lead it 6-0. Mark Morris looking to get the ball and go to work on the offensive side here in just a few moments. Impressive drive there for the quarterback Anders Dahl, avoiding catastrophe on a snap that went a little bit wide outside of his throwing hand, but he was able to corral it with his palm and bring it in, avoiding a turnover there. It's little plays like that that can help lead to points. And also the great throw across his body to Zayden Hoover, and Hoover set up that drive with a 40-yard return on the opening kickoff of the ball game. Fans, again, thank you for being with us here. We are right down the line for this kickoff. Waddell trots up, kicks it deep end over end, and it is fielded cleanly and heading back towards the near side, trying to get out of a tackle, unable to do so, is Miles Whiteside. Whiteside marked down at the 26-yard line, and that's where this drive will start for Mark Morris. And at quarterback will be sophomore Hunter Nelson, 175 pounds, 6 foot, number 8 in the lineup. First down and 10. Four wide receivers, and it's a fake handoff, and Nelson with some wheels after faking it runs it right up the middle for 12 yards. A couple players still blocking here after the whistle, but a nice fake there. And Nelson is going to head over to the sideline to get the play call from head coach Mike Peck. So a first down carry of 12 yards gives Mark Morris a first down immediately. Under center, it's a backwards lateral and a double pass. The ball's lofted and wide open, running underneath of it. A shoestring tackle there by Hoover, but the Monarchs get tricky on the double pass. Reception made there by Daniel Kobayashi all the way down at the Highlander 22-yard line. First down and 10, Mark Morris. Scorebooks. Handoff. Hernandez meets contact, is stood up and stays on his feet, finally wrestled down here around the 20-yard line, but his forward progress has him out to the 18. This is a guy in Kevin Hernandez that Coach Peck just gushed over how hard he worked in the offseason and came out and really wanted to take the running back job here. And the Monarchs look to have two really quality backs to use, and Hernandez hoping to be one of those, the other Avery Elliott. Second down, and we'll call it 6. Empty formation here for Nelson. And it's a fake on a jet sweep. Nelson keeps looking to get it off to the right side, and he is wrestled down by Kainoa Feely. Short of the line to gain. It'll be about third down, and we'll call it 2. .320 to go here in the opening quarter. Mark Morris working here in the red zone. Nelson under center, I formation, one wide receiver near side, and it's a handoff up the middle, and Hernandez got through the initial wave, met at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's going to be about a gain of a yard. Fourth down upcoming here for Mark Morris. Kelso had to face a fourth down of their own. So Mark Morris faced with a similar situation here, looking to pay off this drive. They stay in that I formation. Nelson on 4th and 1. Handoff to the first man through, and I don't know. Kelso, I think, stuffed it here. It's going to depend on the spot. It looks short, and no official signal yet. And they're going to measure it. That handoff went to number 24, Bradley Lewis. And I think that they're actually going to just say no measurement. All the referees are going to get together, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Kelso turns away Mark Morris on their opening attempt. Still 6-0 in the early going. 2:24 officially left in the first. So Kelso back to work for their second drive. And they're tight to the formation. Handoff, working back to the near side. Not much going on there. Bradley Lewis stops the ball carrier, and on that play is Zephaniah Rutherford, number 34, who had that carry, and a gain of 4 for Rutherford. 2nd down and 6. Minute 53 to go here in the opening quarter. 6-zip Hilanders. And again, they've got slot tight at the top and motion across and blown up in the backfield for a huge loss. Ryak Perner with his second very impressive read on defense blows that play up. It's a loss of 5. 3rd down and 11 coming up here for the Hilanders. What a job there. Perner saw the motion coming across, and he just started moving with him, anticipating where he was going to be when he got to that far side, trying to turn the edge. 3rd and long here for the Hilanders. A minute 10 to go now here, and man coverage locked up down here at the bottom. And it's going to be a safe play. It's a handoff, and it is bottled up for a gain of maybe a yard. Could be no gain as well, but the Hilanders not wanting to risk a turnover here. They decide to just hand it off on 3rd down and 11. They'll punt the ball away, so Mark Morris gets a stop and a chance to have tremendous field position here. Clock down to 25 seconds and rolling here. And it is going to be a high but short punt, but a great bounce there for the Hilanders. It's not going to get across midfield, but it's still going to be a lot better than what it could have been. Mark Morris will have the ball at the Highlander 45-ish yard line, 44-yard line, it looks like, where they have it officially marked here. 10 seconds left in the opening quarter here. First and 10 here for the Monarchs. Back in the shotgun, Nelson hands it off, coming back towards the near side, cutting it up immediately, getting it across the 40-yard line is the ball carrier. That's Avery Elliott, the sophomore. He is electric, folks. He is one of the top-rated sprinters in the 100-meter, 200-meter dash, I believe, here in the state of Washington just as a sophomore. He had a tremendous middle-of-the-year game against Hawkinson. His presence was felt as we come to the end of the first quarter. More on Avery Elliott, more on the Monarchs, and, of course, more on the Highlanders. We're going to step aside for our first commercial break. We'll be right back here in just a moment. Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Longview Kelso Athletics streaming on N2 Media. Call financial advisor Ryan Littlefield at 360-916-4650 or visit him at 911 11th Avenue in Longview for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Welcome back to Longview Memorial Stadium here. Nick Sisson on behalf of N2 Media, saying thank you all so much for being with me once again for another season of high school football and, of course, a lot more. For right now, 6-0 Kelso at the end of the first quarter, just about ready to start the second. And it'll be Mark Morris ball. They'll have it second down and 5. And we are all set. Under center, I formation, Nelson. Nelson, play action. Throws it out to the flat. Immediately tackled after the catch there is Bradley Lewis. And Alex Dieter was there with the tackle for the Highlanders. But it's a positive play, gain of 2. Third down and 3. Looking in the comment section, folks, thank you all for being with us. Again, be sure to share the live stream link with friends and family. Serena says Mark Morris has some very good coaches. I can root for them now, LOL. Yes. Well, debatable. 4 wide receivers, fake handoff, and Nelson is wrapped up. Nice tackle there by Parker Stewart. And some pushing and shoving after the play. It's going to bring up 4th down. But the Monarchs going with an I formation look here at times, and that time out of the shotgun. Tried to go back to the well. A play that's worked a couple of times very well for him already here is just the quarterback option, and the quarterback deciding to keep it on the read 3 times now. And it looks as if they're going to go for it, Mark Morris, on a 4th down and 6. We've got to look for the hard count here if you're Kelso. 4 wide receivers spread out in the pistol, 2 to each side. Nelson clapping, checking around. And now he's looking for motion. We might get a timeout here, and we do get a timeout from the sideline. It looks like some miscommunication out there with 10:15 left in the first half. This will be the first charge timeout to Mark Morris. They've got 2 remaining. Well, again, fans, thank you again for being with us here. I can say that probably another 15 times by the time I wrap up this broadcast, but I do truly mean it. We're back again next week here at Longview Memorial Stadium for R.A. Long's home opener, taking on the Centralia Tigers. So 7 o'clock next Friday, right back here at Longview Memorial for the other Longview school, taking on a Evergreen 2A opponent in Centralia. Those 2 teams locked up last year and it went to OT. Expect another great game next Friday here at Longview Memorial. So far, this game has played out pretty evenly in terms of, I think, production plays and movement of the ball. I would assume that the total yardage is in Mark Morris's favor, perhaps, but the points department belongs to the Highlanders, and that's really all that matters. Still a long way to go in this one. But Mark Morris holding their own and looking to convert a 4th down here. They're back out with the offense. They got 4 wide receivers. Nelson swings it, and it's going to be a pass to Elliott. Hoover comes up and slows his momentum down, and a swarming tackle. It ends up being a loss. Credit Zayden Hoover with getting there first and forcing Elliott to try to go back inside and break away from a tackle. Kelso takes over. Second time their defense has gotten off the field on a 4th down situation. They lead it already 6-0, and we'll get back to work here in just a couple moments. First down and 10 now for the Highlanders. Dahl has motion come across. It's McCreary, fake to McCreary, an option, and cutting it up is Dahl. Dahl now with the option pitch, and the running back trailing, breaks a tackle, cuts it back, and he has some daylight up the near sideline. Da-da-da, da-da-da, touchdown, Kelso. It's another one here for Mason Hansen. Credit Dahl, though, with the excellent carry out of the option read. He ends up pitching it about 15 yards or so down the field, and it goes for the touchdown. Incredible play there. Kelso now leads it 12-0. 58 yards for Hansen. And the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. 13-0. Kelso with the lead. What a play there. Heads up by Dahl to get that pitch over to Hansen. .58 yards. .953 to go here in the first half. That was a great play design if we could go back to that in your head, but number 87, Kyle McCreary, coming across the formation looking like a jet sweep potential handoff, and you had the fake on the jet sweep and then the option, the triple option essentially running off of that. You don't see that variation really in a lot of places. That is a very creative play by the Highlanders as Waddell runs up on this and it goes to the far side and it is brought in, and return coming out for Avery Elliott, and Elliott bounces off of one player and he is wrapped up at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line, and that's where Mark Morris will start their next possession with 9:47 to go here in the first half. It's the Highlanders 13, and Mark Morris still looking to light up the scoreboard in some fashion. Still a lot of time to go here in this one. Four wide receivers, two to each side. Pistol here for Nelson. And it's a fake handoff. Nelson keeps it himself. He's got some space, gets a block, now looking to cut it back inside. And he's trying to escape from a foot tackle, but he can't do it. He gets it out to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of about 13. So Nelson, a sophomore, is shown a good ability to be able to move around and make some plays happen with his legs. It's going to be another first down here. Ball spotted the nose of it at the 39-yard line right in front of us. And it's a quick pass out to the near side. Catch is made on a little flanker screen. Ball's loose. And a scrum. Kelso has it. Coming up with it is number 10, Brady Schnaza. That catch was made by Decker Bartel. And the ball squirts out, 9:07 to go. Kelso back to work on offense after the turnover. That was the first catch of the ball game for the senior Bartel. First down and 10. Dahl loads up, goes deep. Man out there, drops it in the bucket. Touchdown, Kelso. We do have a flag all the way back here. So let's hold on this real quick. Touchdown is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Kelso. It's a 45-yard touchdown. On the kickoff. The Hilanders offense went back, assuming that they were going to have to do the play over again, but instead it's going to be ruled on the kickoff. So that touchdown will count. It'll be 19-0 after Caden Mendez hauls it in from 45 yards out. 19-0. Kelso on top. Waddell on for the PAT. And the kick is just short. It hits the crossbar. Waddell didn't hit that one clean, the second PAT that he has not been able to convert, but Kelso has made up for it with 3 touchdowns so far here. 9:06 to go, and a couple of them coming in a very short span of time here. What a ball by Anders Dahl. Caden Mendez. Well, Mark Morris has got some work to do now here, trailing by 3 scores. And I know I'm a broken record with this statement, but there's a lot of time left. In high school sports, anything can happen. But right now, Kelso having their way with the Monarchs. 2 touchdown runs already here for Mason Hansen, and a touchdown pass from Dahl to Caden Mendez. 1 play drive there for 45 yards. Cole says if Mark Morris loses, I'm going to cry. Yeah, you know, don't well up just yet, Cole. You know, still a lot of ball game left, and it's just week 1. A lot of football. Waddell, line drive kick, and it is bobbled but fielded. Return coming back towards the near side, and 1 block gets through a shoulder into contact, and at the 44-yard line, contact made, and it's Mendez there with the tackle, but a solid return there for the Monarchs. And we've got 3 wide receivers stacked up in a line here on the bottom. So Mark Morris going a little bit creative, and it's a fake pass, quarterback draw, and getting it out to the 50-ish yard line at midfield is Nelson. So a positive play there. And the turnover bug bit Mark Morris on that last drive after a completion to Bartell. Ball just kind of squirted out of the breadbasket there after a big hit on the near sideline, and Kelso was able to get on top of it. Nelson in the pistol. 2nd down and 6 to go. Pass, and it's caught here by Bartell. Bartell into the Hilanders territory. And we've got a couple flags. It looks like we're going to get a face mask, I think, at the tail end of this. Bartell picks up 10 on the reception, but it looks like Mark Morris is going to get a bonus 15. And it is a personal foul face mask. That's going to move Mark Morris deeper into Kelso territory. Should set them up at the 25-yard line here for a first down. 8:05 to go here in the second quarter. And a tight end is lined up on the left side here. Slot to the left also. Handoff going left and trying to get through the line of scrimmage and wiggling beyond the 20-yard line is Hernandez. Hernandez Ruiz, the full surname, gains 6. It'll be second down and 4. $7:18 to go, clock running here, second quarter. Nelson, shoulder fake, still looking left, throws it left, and it's one-on-one, and it's out of the hands of the intended wide receiver. Out there was Ryak Perner. It's going to bring up third down and 4. The Monarchs taking a shot at the end zone there. A nice opportunity, one-on-one for Ryak Perner. So here we go on this third down and 4. Again, pistol, 4 wide receivers motion, fake to the motion, handoff. Ruiz has some space, and he is going to be good for the first down here. And that's going to put Mark Morris closer to the goal line here on the 13-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10. Under 7 to go now here in the first half. Handoff back to the right, a little counter. Big hit, and the ball's out again. And another fumble recovered by the Highlander defense. A nice play design on a counter back to the right, and it's another turnover by the Monarchs, their second of the half, second consecutive possession that they've lost the ball on a fumble, and this one hurts more than the last one because they were moving, and this ball is picked up at the 8-yard line by Kelso. .6:31 to go. Highlanders lead it already 19-0. And it's a handoff going left side and bouncing off of a tackle and delivering some more punishment on the way. And this ball came loose, and it's recovered by Mark Morris. A fumble on the carry at the very tail end. The referee was right there on the spot at the 22-yard line. And it's going to go back to Mark Morris after Trevin Roller was just barreling into Monarchs defenders, and they were bouncing off him, and the last bit of contact, it wore him down and got the ball on the carpet. Mark Morris back in business. Like I said earlier, you know, high school sports, anything can happen, and it's still early. So Mark Morris back to work after the fumble looking to get some momentum. Still a lot of time here. Handoff and getting some yardage, stood up at the 20-yard line is the ball carrier. And it was Elliott on that carry. Gain of 2, we'll say. Second down and 8. And a pump fake here, and coming back to the ball, making the catch just beyond the initial line of scrimmage is Kobayashi, and it could be a gain of maybe a yard there to Daniel Kobayashi, his second reception of the ball game. And all in all, it's a gain of about 1, maybe a long one, but we're still going to call it 3rd down and 7. 5:15 clock running here, second quarter. Bartell with one-on-one coverage down here at the very bottom. Nelson looking the opposite direction, a slant route. Ball's tipped up in the air, and it's almost picked off. A slant route trying to go inside was very well covered, and the pass goes incomplete. 4th down now and 7 for the Monarchs. Mark Morris leaving the offense out there. If they wanted to try a field goal here from this range, it would be about a 36-yard attempt. They're going to burn a timeout. It's going to be the second charge timeout of the half to Mark Morris. I'm going to take a quick audio break here. 4th down and 7 upcoming with 4:49 to go in the first half. Score update from Ridgefield High School. Prairie leading Ridgefield 14-13 at the end of the first quarter. Castle Rock leading R.A. Long 16-0. 4th down upcoming here. Play action, and it's a ball out to the near side, and Bartell cuts it back up inside, and I think he might have enough. It's going to be super close. Everyone's pointing in their favorite direction. And they are going to say Kelso possession. Bartell with the reception, picked up 6.5, needed 7. Kelso will take over. So Kelso gets the ball back. Mark Morris unable to do anything with the fumble recovery after Kelso's first play on the previous possession. There's been 3 turnovers here in the second quarter alone combined. And Dahl hands it off. This is Hansen. Hansen tripped up before turning the corner. That's a big shoestring tackle there. It's going to be a gain of a couple. They got this one marked out at the 15-yard line. All in all, gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Pressure here, handoff right at the pressure, and Bartel meets the ball carrier, and it's Hansen who gets it out to the 20. A very tough run there from Hansen. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3.
Third down and 3.
3:29 to go here in the first half. Ball spotted on the Highlanders' own 20-yard line. And it's an option to the left. Dahl pitches it late, and it's a first down carry out of bounds is Hansen. Great play there. Anders Dahl patiently putting one defender on an island. It's a gain of 9 for that first down. Hansen credited with the 9 yards. Four wide receivers here out of the shotgun, 2 to each side. Handoff going right inside. And breaking a tackle, trying to get away from another is Hansen. Hansen with some tough running so far here in the first half. He's got 6 more. Give him 7, in fact. 2nd down and 3. And a whistle here by the officials. So we're going to have a little break in the action to figure out this. Officials timeout here. And so this is more than likely some type of sportsmanship deal. Usually when they've called somebody off, called the players off the field, and they might get an administrator, yes, the athletic director for Kelso, Bob Kickner, out there. So we're going to have the head coach, Mike Peck, head out there. Something was said that goes against the spirit of sportsmanship. So hopefully it wasn't anything that's going to cause the game to be chippier. It's not actually been too chippy for a Kelso Mark Morris game. In the comment section on YouTube, it says, "Hi, Dad, it's Vaughn. Let's go Kelso." Vaughn Sisson, man. Let's go Kelso in the live stream comment section. Woo. There you go. Recruit radar, 4 verts incoming. I haven't seen 4 verts yet tonight. And then somebody's name on YouTube, Balls, says Mark Morris needs to catch up. I don't know if that's a creative name or, yeah. Ugh. Still time to change it. 2:25-ish to go, officially 2:26. Administrators, coaches heading off the field. We'll be back to action here in just a couple of moments, but it'll be 2nd down and 3, and now Kelso's entire team huddling up there on that far sideline. A lot of speculation as to what there was to expect here. Head coach Darren Gardner coaching his very first game as the head coach for the Kelso Highlanders after 19 years as an assistant. I had a chance to talk with Coach Gardner yesterday ahead of this game and said, you know, it's a great situation for both teams to be able to come together and to play this game in this atmosphere. And he said that there's going to be a moment where he just stops and turns around, looks behind him, and looks across the field to the grandstands just to appreciate the moment of what it means to be involved in this game and be involved with the Kelso Highlanders still as the head guy, and likes his chances with his team here throughout the season. And they've got some tough matchups along the way, but the Kelso Highlanders so far looking pretty sharp here in the opener, 19-0. They did have the 1 fumble, but the offense has been pretty well ran by senior Anders Dahl. Dahl with a touchdown pass, and he was a big reason why Hansen was able to break loose for a 58-yard touchdown on a triple option, a late pitch up the field. And we're back to action here. Dahl with a bubble screen. Hoover catches it, moves it back inside. Shifty moves, and then right back at him. A huge hit. Hoover holds on to the ball, though. And it's going to be a first down for the Highlanders. Hoover's had some impact plays, hasn't gotten into the end zone, but shows off the footwork there after the catch, able to get north and south along the near hash mark. It's going to be a first down now for the Highlanders. Peyton Stewart says, go Kelso. Somebody, who's that? Porfirio says Kelso paid the refs. Oh, yeah, that's definitely that's what's going on. Yep. Handoff inside to the first man through. It's going to be Larwick, and he just keeps the legs moving, able to get it out to the 49-yard line for a 5-yard gain. .1:11 to go, so Kelso with all 3 timeouts might have to start hitting the turbo button. They're just going to go handoff, and it's Rutherford trying to get outside, and he can't. It's going to be no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5, and Kelso decides to use one of their 3 timeouts. They stop the clock with exactly 1 minute to go on the clock. I saw my buddy Matt Evans here a little bit ago saying something about the graphics and said he likes them. And what do you guys think? I don't want to take up too much space here, but I don't think it does. I think it looks pretty professional, like you might see at the college and the high school. The high school, the professional ranks. But yeah, pretty cool. Able to kind of control everything here with the score bug on a cell phone. So yeah, or a tablet. That's good. My name is Bales, not Balls. Oh, well, from my angle looking down at the screen, it kind of looks like another L. Bales, sorry about that. You'll have to forgive me. It's the first game, you know. Last time Mark Morris played Kelso last year, Mark Morris went on to beat R.A. Long 51-7 for the playoffs. Yes, that comment's coming in on YouTube from Seahawks Fan for Life. That is, in fact, what happened last season. Correct. It's the first game of the year for both teams, and a long way to go for each. Still in Kelso territory here at the 49-yard line, 3rd down and 5. Out of the timeout, rolling to the left is Dahl. Dahl faces up, throws, and the ball is incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. We'll see if Kelso is going to play some field position here and punt the ball away, or if they're feeling lucky with 55 seconds to go. Last thing you want to do if you're Kelso is give away momentum in front of halftime. Mark Morris will receive the second half kickoff, but 55 seconds left, and Kelso opting to bring on the punting team. It's going to be Zayden Hoover, number 3, back to punt the ball away for the Highlanders, and Avery Elliott back deep for the Monarchs. He's electric. Kelso would be wise to punt this ball away from him and potentially out of bounds. And this one is angled a beauty, and that one is exactly what you want. Hoover doing it all inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And I'm here to tell you, folks, the way he kicked that ball was perfect with the spin to be able to tight spiral it vertically, so to speak. I don't know the correct terminology. I should, damn it. But, hey, whatever. It was a great punt. 49 seconds to go. Mark Morris probably going to be content just to get out of here and get into the locker room and avoid having to give the ball back. An interesting situation, though, here, because Kelso still with those 2 timeouts and with the ball at the 4-yard line. If there's no gain or potentially a loss on this play, you might see a timeout called here by the Highlanders. See if they can force Mark Morris to exit the field without giving the ball away. And we're going to get a timeout immediately here by the Monarchs ahead of their first down play. Mike Peck maybe wanting to have some last-second consultation with his coaches and players there. They're going to huddle up on the near side, still with 49 seconds to go in the first half, and still 19-0 Kelso. Ball's going to be out the 4-yard line for the Monarchs. I saw Peyton Stewart on the live stream comment section there just a second ago, and saw that he was named as the, I want to say like a scout team leader or MVP. Probably butchering all of this. At Michigan State, a former Kelso Highlander, his brother playing in this ball game here, but awesome to see Mr. Stewart. Score update from Recruit Radar in the YouTube comment section. The Anacortes Seahawks 28, Bainbridge 7. Anacortes, the two-time defending state champions. Some people know that very well because I told them it would happen. A lot of people didn't listen. That's okay. Handoff and a little bit of space coming out to the near side is Elliott. Elliott gets leveled out of bounds. Kainoa Feely with a huge hit, tackled inbounds, so the clock is going to continue to move, and it's a first down run there for Elliott as he gets it out to the 18-yard line, so credit him with 14, and clock is down to 33 seconds. Mark Morris out of timeouts. Expect probably another handoff here, and might be the last play depending on how it goes. We'll see. Nelson in the shotgun. Two wide receivers near side, tied into the left, single back. And it's a handoff to the back, and coming out to the near side is Elliott. Elliott needs to get out of bounds, and he does, just in front of the 30-yard line with 11 seconds. But Elliott able to find some running room here off the left side on the last two plays, back-to-back first down carries. They've got this one at the 29-yard line. So a gain of about 11. Mark Morris coming out again with a slot to the near side. Single back behind Nelson. And the ball's fumbled, but picked up off the carpet. Stiff arm, but down inside at the 30-yard line. And now we've got a player down, and that is a not good sign. Let's see how it looks, but a little bit of a brush up there on the near sideline with Kelso, and the ball carrier is Avery Elliott. And Avery Elliott is down on the turf. The Monarchs are going to head off into the locker room with a player down. Kelso waiting to get into the locker room themselves. Elliott up off the turf, which is a good sign, but he's being helped off, not putting any weight on his right leg. That is terrible to see. Not a good note to end the half on. You just want everybody to get out of these games healthy. Kelso leading 19-0 at the intermission. 15 minutes till the start of the second half. And we're going to keep it right here for the Mark Morris cheer staff for the halftime show, and be back here in just a couple moments. The Mark Morris cheer staff, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the half. Kelso leading it 19-0 over Mark Morris. Nixis in here with the halftime report for both teams. We're going to break it down here real quick, and then we're going to talk some score updates around the state. But in this one right here, Kelso got the opening kickoff and got into Mark Morris territory immediately thanks to Zayden Hoover going for just over 40 yards to set Kelso up 1st and 10 at the Monarchs' 40-yard line to begin their opening drive. And a couple of fourth down conversions, one via penalty, put Kelso in position to get a touchdown from Mason Hansen. Hansen, a 6-foot senior, got Kelso on the board. 6-0 PAT attempt, no good. In the second quarter, Hansen again takes a triple option pitch about, I thought it was about 10 to 15 yards or so up the field after Anders Dahl ran the option beautifully, and then upon getting tackled, pitched it behind him, and Hansen got it in stride, broke a tackle, had a couple blocks, and ended up taking it 58 yards to the house. PAT good that time from Jay Waddell, 13-0 Monarchs, and then Mark Morris got back to work and was moving it after a fumble from Decker Bartel. Kelso takes over. One play drive and a touchdown on a deep pass from Anders Dahl to Caden Mendez for 45 yards. That made it 19-0 Highlanders, and the PAT attempt no good on that try. And that's where we're at here, 19-0. All in all, hard not to like what you've seen so far from Anders Dahl. Dahl taking over for Tucker Amrine. He has done that previously, so he's not without experience in this situation coming into this season. There were some question marks as to how Kelso might look and what they might feature from an attack standpoint, but all things considered, past, present, and beyond, I think that Kelso's offense was very diversified. A lot of different looks, a lot of different motions with some similar concepts. They've found a lot of success running the speed option, we'll say, with Dahl really putting pressure on the edge and forcing a decision to be made. And he's guessed right on just about every one of them, drawing the defender in close and then pitching it to the running back at the last moment, and then able to move the ball down the field as well. He's had a couple of great throws across his body. So far, I think Anders Dahl has looked phenomenal in the ball game for the Highlanders. On the other side, Mark Morris has not played poorly, by any stretch. They've had a couple of turnovers via fumble, but they've moved the ball. They've gotten off the field themselves. The big play is what's really hurt Mark Morris so far here in this one, and a couple of penalties and a couple of turnovers. So far, 2 fumbles by the Monarchs. Kelso with one of their own, but the turnover department +1 on the Kelso Highlander side of things. And let's take a tour around the state of Washington here for the score updates at the half. Be sure to type in, folks, to the live stream comment section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Toledo was leading Adna the most recently, 20-13 in a tough game there, and Graham Kapowsin on top of O'Day, 20-10. Castle Rock on top of R.A. Long, 23-0. Elma leading Centralia 13-7. By the way, check back to that Adna Toledo game. It was 20-14 Toledo. Kennewick battling Hanford over in the Tri-Cities. Kennewick leads at 14-7. Zilla on top of Cannell, 12-0. And then Royal, you've heard of them, 62-0 with 6:05 to go in the second quarter against Keona Benton. It's just not fair, folks. Other scores around the state. Puyallup leads Tumwater 22-7. Not a huge shock. Kalama leads Woodland 8-7 in the 8 Mile War. But Puyallup with DJ Mims coming over from Mercer Island looking to build the program up there at Puyallup and got some guys transferred in. They look to be super tough. Last year, Tumwater went on the road at Puyallup and absolutely just had their way with the Puyallup Vikings. So very surprised here to see Puyallup up 22-7, but good coaching there from DJ Mims. Sumner and Lake Stevens, a huge matchup in the 4A ranks, and right now it's 21-16. Lake Stevens at the half. In other news around the state, another score update, but it's Olympia 40-40 Fall League action. Pacific Northwest Heat 5-1 over the Heavy Hitters in Game 2. The PNW Heat 4, Renegades 0. Currently in the bottom of the first. That score coming in from former Kelso quarterback Jeff Handy. Thank you, Mr. Handy. Appreciate that. So in case you're interested in your 40-40 Fall League action, 5:41 to go here until the start of the second half. I'm going to step aside here, fans, for a quick audio timeout, and we'll be back with some more action right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Longview Memorial Stadium. Nick Sisson on behalf of N2 Media. Kelso leading Mark Morris 19-0. Both teams are out of the locker room and going through their final huddles together to finish this ball game off to start the season. Kelso already on top, 19-0, feeling pretty good about themselves, and we'll see if Avery Elliott is okay after an awkward tackle to end the first half. He's a sophomore running back and defensive back for the Monarchs. I do think I see him out there in the huddle, which would be a great sign. But until he gets out there, it's a little bit of an unknown.
To receive the second half kickoff.
Kelso set to kick off from left to right. Avery Elliott back out there for the Monarchs, so good sign, and he is deep with Luke Bilger to receive the kickoff here to start the second half. Last score I saw from Prairie and Ridgefield, Prairie leading 22-19 late first half. Game delayed due to an injury, so we'll hopefully get some positive news on that front, and the game will be ready to resume. That game streaming on the Ridgefield YouTube channel. And Waddell runs up, kicks it off near side. This is Bilger. Bilger, one-on-one, shakes one tackle, jumped back inside, and wrapped up at about the 24-yard line. And that's where Mark Morris will start their drive. In fact, it'll actually be the 25. Mark Morris had a couple of successful drives that just came up empty. They've been in the red zone twice, but have not been able to come away with points. Hunter Nelson back out there. And it's going to be Kevin Hernandez Ruiz to his right for wide receivers. And it's a fake handoff and a keep. And here comes Nelson. Nelson breaks a tackle momentarily and crosses the 40 down at the 42-yard line. So a 17-yard gain for Hunter Nelson. And Nelson's made a few plays like that with his feet. Good option football there. Right down the line in front of us. I formation. Fullback is Lewis. And it's a fake handoff, bootleg to the right, rolling and throwing, and catch is made back inside. Tackle at the 46-yard line. That is a 12-yard gain. So 2 plays and 2 first downs. Lewis comes off the field here for this first down and 10 play. Trips coming to the near side all the way down at the bottom. And it's a stack formation, and it's a keeper here. Nelson going sideways. There's a flag back behind the play. Nelson has his helmet ripped off, and he's tackled afterwards with his helmet off. There's no flag there. And a flex job getting up and staring back down towards the sideline of Mark Morris's number 67, Cole Ray, after that play. So we'll see. We got a lot to sort out. There was a flag back. It's literally on the middle of the L at midfield. But wow, a lot going on there with the helmet being removed. No call there. More than likely, you're going to have a penalty back against Mark Morris of some kind. And it's going to be holding against Mark Morris. So it will be first down and long for the Monarchs after that play. But like I said, a lot going on. Now the ball is going to be spotted at the 44. Mark Morris needs the 36-yard line, so first down and 20. Press coverage down here at the bottom. Bartell has this ball thrown up, and the safety reads it beautifully and knocks it away. Great coverage there. Tucker Roberts on the coverage against Bartell, and Kelso rolled that safety over there towards the near sideline once that ball was thrown. Great play there on the backside by Kyle McCreary, number 87, coming over to defend that. But they disguised that coverage very well. It looked like it was going to be a clear one-on-one, and they had somebody prepared to come over and provide some support. Handoff goes off the left side. Across the 45 to the 47 is Hernandez Ruiz. It's a short gain. Third down and 16. The story of the game so far is Mark Morris able to move the ball, but anytime they get down close, a mistake rears its ugly head, and a backwards play after 3 consecutive positive plays puts Mark Morris behind the chains. Fake handoff. McCreary trying to wrestle up Nelson. Nelson able to juke him, but continuing towards the near sideline. Not much running room as Nelson has ran out of bounds. Coming over there to help with the tackle was Blake Larwick. Short gain there for the Monarchs on the keeper by Nelson. And it looks like the Monarchs are going to punt the football away with 8:50 to go here in the third quarter. And a rugby-style punt, and that one is off the end of the foot, out of bounds at the 50-yard line. So a very short punt overall. A 4-yard net punt. Oof. So a tough start for the Monarchs here in the third quarter. Kelso will have it on their own 49-yard line to start their first drive of the second half, already leading 19-zip. Slot near side, and we got a handoff coming back towards the near side, and Hansen swung down after he had a little bit of running room initially. Going to be a gain of about 4. Hansen able to get it into the Monarchs territory. Officially spotted at the MM 47-yard line. Second and 6. Slot to the top. Handoff up the middle. Hansen bottled up. No running room. Officially a gain of a yard, according to the far sideline official, as he walks it in. So it'll be 3rd and a long 5. It would be great here for Mark Morris if they're able to get the ball back quickly. That this is the type of football that we're so used to seeing from the Kelso Hilanders. Get it to 3rd and manageable, where you can use the entire playbook, and working in plus territory, you could go for it on 4th. Let's see what Kelso opts to do. They're going to go with 4 wide receivers and spread it out. Single coverage here, so Mark Morris looking to play the run. Hoover, fake handoff back to the near side, a counter, and it's a close play to the marker, but still going to be short. On that carry was Zephaniah Rutherford. Rutherford able to get 3 of it. It's going to be 4th down and 2. But a fake on the jet sweep and a counter back to the near side. Kelso looking to utilize some misdirection and pulling some guards around and doing all kinds of things. Very creative are the Kelso Hilanders here in game number 1. Under 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kelso going to go for it, 4th and 2. Slot to the top, 2 backs out of the pistol, and it's Rutherford behind Dahl. Blitz showing, and we had movement on the left side of the offensive line. It looks as if the left guard out there might have flinched, and that's going to be number 70, Max Darby, who picks up the penalty on a false start. That's going to move Kelso back 5, and it's going to change their mind. Instead of go for it, the special teams unit comes onto the field for a 4th and 7. So a big penalty there. At the moment, looks like it's going to give the ball back to the Monarchs, but got to watch out for the chicanery here. Under 6 to go in the 3rd. Avery Elliott back deep. Hoover fakes it, and he runs it out towards the left, breaks 1 tackle, has some room, and he gets it! Still on his feet, down at the 31-yard line. We do have a flag, though, back at the line to gain, and a player down. I told you, you got to watch out for the chicanery. 2 Monarchs are down on the turf right now. So we're going to check on a couple of things, a couple players, and we got a hold against Kelso. So it's coming back. Looks like we got some cramps for sure for one player. We'll have to wait and see on who the down Monarchs are, but 10 yards from the spot would be an overall loss of 3 on the play. So it should be 4th and 10 coming up for Mark Morris, or excuse me, for Kelso. So we still haven't seen who the down players are. The good news is, though, is that the one that's at the 40-yard line is just getting stretched out. That's usually a tall tale sign of cramping, and that's something that you see very, very often in August, September football, especially at the very beginning of the year. Guys still playing at game speed. Merv's in the live stream comment section from Texas. Hey, Merv, good to see you. Great job, as always, with your commentary tonight, Nick. Oh, thank you so much. Says, thank you for the ability to watch my grandson Luke play. Happy to do it. Got 146 devices logged in here to watch this one so far. So be sure to share with friends and family, folks. We got free football action. One player that's up off the turf for Mark Morris is Brendan Brown, offensive lineman, number 75. And he is walking a little gingerly on his left foot. And now he's going to kind of walk off towards the sideline under his own power here, so that is a great sign. Clock is stopped here with 5:38 to go in the third quarter, and they're still working on the other down Monarch at that 40-yard line. This is essentially like burning 3 timeouts at once. The Highlanders have already shown that they're willing to roll the dice and gamble. They do have a cushion, though, so it made sense there in that situation to maybe come up with a design like they just did with Hoover, who's shown very, very shifty footwork carrying the football here. See if they are brave enough to do it 2 times in a row, but it's going to be 4th and 10 when we come back to the next play. Brian says Nostradamus. No, I'm certainly not. Although, book it, Brian. Remember, book it. Remember that, book it. Sorry. I'm going to be at the Kelso Evergreen game here October 3rd, Brian, so, you know, we're going to have to make a little make a little wager. I don't know, see how that one goes. But you know, we're gonna have to talk about the points, though. You know, we can't just pick straight up. And so, good sign here is down player is up, and that is Luke Bilger. Sorry to have to provide that news there, but Luke is being helped off to the sideline here, so what I said was once a good sign doesn't look quite like that. Let's hope Luke's okay there. And he still hasn't been put any weight, looks like, on that right leg on his journey over here towards the near sideline, so the Monarchs look like they're going to be without their starting safety here, potentially the rest of the ball game. And Luke is still having a tough time. They're going to carry him off here. That is not a good sign. And after that, get your get well soon cards written up here, because we are back to action. 4th and 10, Kelso back in punt formation. Hoover decides to boot this one away, and again, another great punt. And this one gets beyond the returner, and it's going to be touchdown at the 1. That is a tough play to see done there against you. A ball that probably could have been fielded ends up being the best punt you could come up with for Hoover. Mark Morris takes over at their own 1-yard line. That is the second punt inside the 5 by Hoover in the ball game. And again, I talked a little bit about it back in the second quarter, but Hoover has had a major impact on the game. He hasn't gotten into the end zone and hurt the Monarchs that way, but he has just been a Swiss Army knife that has been an effective tool against the Monarchs here so far, catching the ball, punting the ball, and playing solid defense. Nelson back to pass out of his own end zone, finds a wide open receiver, and some green pastures up ahead for Daniel Kobayashi, his 3rd reception, and he's hobbly getting up, not putting any weight on his right leg, and he's trying to run it off and get to the sideline. So a terrible sign again for Mark Morris, already seeing some guys getting dinged up. The turf not kind to the legs so far for Mark Morris. Slot to the near side after the first down, a 23-yard catch by Kobayashi, an option keeper. Nelson wrestled down from behind by Kainoa Feely. Feely is just an absolute unit at linebacker for the Highlanders. 5'11", 235 pounds. That is a brick. Second down and 8. 4:17 to go, third quarter. Feels like it's been the third quarter for a long time, and if it does, well, it has been. Second and 8. Tight end split off the right side of the line, working back to the near side, screen ball, and that one was up for grabs. McCreary for Kelso didn't really have his head around there to see the ball on the way. He would have been the best option to catch that pass, and he could have been on his way back to the other side of the field in a hurry. But third down and 8 now for the Monarchs. And you could just feel kind of the wind sucked out of the Monarchs' sail right now, and a lot of time left. I keep saying that just because I watch so much high school football and high school sports in general. Anything can happen. But right now it just feels as if Mark Morris is a little bit sluggish, dealing with some injuries, looking to get something going. Third and 8, and it's a fake handoff. Nelson is wrestled down literally by his neck by Feely, and there's a flag. It is going to be a penalty, I believe, against Feely. Oh, Nelson got right to the line, and it's a personal foul right where he was tackled. Yeesh. Feely with some violence on that tackle. But a huge break for the Monarchs. That one looked like it was going to be a 4th down and a yard, but it turns into a first down at the Monarchs' 49-yard line near midfield. But Kainoa Feely taking no prisoners there on that tackle. 3:41 to go, third quarter. Jake Moe with a score update in the YouTube comment section. Prairie on top of Ridgefield, 30-19. And we've got a timeout on the field. We're going to see who was charged with the timeout. Now there might be some confusion. I think Kelso's saying they didn't call one, and Mark Morris didn't call one. So I think that we might get back to action. Timeout not granted to either team, so some confusion here. It looks like they might have thought that the Kelso side was calling a timeout there. The white hat official heading over towards the far sideline to sort things out and say, hey, I thought I heard someone say timeout. Slot to the top here. And a direct snap keeper. And it's a wildcat formation, and Bartell getting some help from behind. Crosses the 45 right near the 44. It's at least a 6, maybe a 7-yard gain, but Decker Bartell stepping into the quarterback position there, running some wildcat, and it looks like he's heading over to get the play call from head coach Mike Peck. And it looks as if he's going to make the calls in the huddle here on this play. Second down and 4. Four wide receivers. Bartell. Fake handoff. Up the middle. He's got some space. Jukes outside. Great tackle there, though. That could have easily been a touchdown, but tremendous discipline by Caden Mendez to make that tackle. Bartell gets it up to the 32-yard line, and it's a first down, Mark Morris. .217 to go here in the third. Bartell remaining out there at quarterback. Bradley Lewis, your tight end on the left, split off the line. Slot to the top. Bartell hands it off. Ruiz puts his head down and barrels to the 30-yard line. Stopped just a wee bit short of that. It'll be a short gain. Blake Larwick on the stop for Kelso. No scoring here in the third quarter, a stalemate, 19-0 Kelso on top. I feel like the Highlanders have been in control of this game for, I get it, 19-0, but I mean, been in control for the game for at least the last quarter and a half. At the end of the first quarter, it felt like it was anybody's game. Mark Morris desperately needs to pay off this drive with some form of points. 1:16 to go, clock running up against the play clock, and we've got a whistle, and instead of a delay of game, it's going to be a timeout granted to Mark Morris. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout, and we'll be back here in 30 seconds. Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Longview Kelso Athletics, streaming on N2 Media. Call financial advisor Ryan Littlefield at 360-916-4650 or visit him at 911 11th Avenue in Longview for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Welcome back to Longview Memorial Stadium. 1:11 to go here in the third quarter. 19-0, Kelso leading Mark Morris in the season opener. Some non-league action here. And a timeout taken by Mark Morris ahead of a 2nd and 9 play. It's going to be the first charge timeout to the Monarchs. They've got 2 remaining here in the half. Kelso still with all 3 of theirs. Mark Morris has really only tried to go down the field twice, one on a double pass, which was successful to Daniel Kobayashi, and another one to Bartel. Bartel back at wide receiver. Nelson looks right, goes back toward Bartel's direction, and Bartel makes the catch. Did he get a foot down? No. Out of bounds. Tough break there. Bartel comes down with it. It was close. Fans are going to their devices right now looking to rewind the live stream to see if Bartel might have got a foot down. I can tell you it looked super close, but I do think that might have been the right call. I think he might have been a little bit out of bounds there. Good fade ball, good coverage, great catch. Just the foot could not get down. Empty formation here, 5 wide receivers, 3 of them to the top for Nelson on a 3rd and 9 at the Kelso 30-yard line. Nelson, ball popped up in the air, and it is incomplete. Could not come up with the interception over there. The ball was deflected, and it was Carter Huntley who almost came away with the pick. Fourth and 9. Ball spotted at the 31. Mark Morris leaving the offense on the field. .57 seconds left in the third. Still empty formation. This time a tight end on the line. Down the middle, some contact. Pass incomplete. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. Feely in coverage. Kelso takes over at the Mark Morris 31. Kelso ready to get back to work. They punted on their only possession in the third quarter. .53 seconds left in the third as Kelso takes over. Single back to the left of Dahl is Rutherford. Motion coming across his Hansen fake, and then it's the triple option, and Dahl keeps it, cuts it up inside, and he crosses the 35 down at the 36. It's going to be a gain of 5. Maybe 6 on the gain. 2nd down and 4. Handoff. And coming back this way is Hansen. Hansen continuing to move across the 45. Falls forward down at the 47. It's a gain of 10 for Hansen. Fans still a little ways to go here in this one as the clock is going to run out on the third quarter after that play. But start thinking here in the fourth for our player of the ball game, which we will name at the conclusion of this one. We are through 3 quarters at Longview Memorial Stadium. Kelso with the lead, still 19-0 as we move into the fourth. Fans, it's just a good time to let you know where you can find all of our social media platforms on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Appreciate everybody tuning in here to tonight's opening game of the season. Please be sure to hit the like button, and please be sure to subscribe to our social media platform of which you are viewing tonight's ball game on, whether that's YouTube or Facebook. But the goal is to gain followers, and by becoming a free subscriber, you do get notifications of when we are live with high school sports coverage, and we will be live every Friday here for at least the next 10 weeks or so. So be sure to follow along and come on back. Next week we'll be right back here at Longview Memorial High School. We start the fourth quarter with a 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. And it's a handoff. Trying to go back to the far side. Hansen is just getting tacklers off of him. And a flag, 2 flags come in, and Hansen just somehow gets all the way through it without his helmet. And Hansen is just fired up. See what about the laundry here. But what a tough run by Hansen. And it's going to be a face mask penalty against Mark Morris. So a 15-yard personal foul face mask is going to mark the ball down at the 33-yard line in Mark Morris territory ahead of this play. So it'll be 1st down and 10 here for the Highlanders. Two running backs. This time it's Rutherford, the deep back. Hoover in the slot near side for the Highlanders. 1st and 10, Dahl hands it off. Rutherford jump cuts in the hole, crosses the 30 down at about the 29-yard line. Rutherford with a 5-yard gain. Tonight, so far, Mason Hansen with 165 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for the Highlanders. Two fullbacks and a deep back, and now a fade ball going deep, and the ball's underthrown, and 2 flags are thrown. Going to be a pass interference penalty most likely against Daniel Kobayashi. Kobayashi never got his head around to try to locate the ball, and the wide receiver trying to come back to it. That was Alex Dieter, the intended target, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty marked off against Mark Morris. So Mark Morris has accrued 30 yards in penalties over the last couple plays. As Kelso continues to march closer to the end zone once again. So Kelso will have it. 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line. Tight end split to the left. And it's a handoff going left. Breaking one tackle, cutting it up on the hashes. And a tackle down by Bartell Rutherford with that carry. Gets it down to about the 8-yard line. That's a gain of 7 for Rutherford. 2nd down and 3. Question coming into this ball game was who was going to be the feature back for the Highlanders, and it might be the man behind Dahl right now, Mason Hansen, the deep back. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 8. Handoff, Hansen looking to get the edge, going towards the corner, and he does get it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Kelso. Looks like we might have a flag potentially on the field. Personal foul against Kelso. So some confusion here. I haven't put the score up yet. They just indicated a personal foul against Kelso. So I don't know what the deal is at this moment. They haven't put the score up on the scoreboard yet. Personal foul against Kelso, and it's going to be 15 yards, so wipe the touchdown off the board. What would have been the 3rd touchdown for Mason Hansen ends up back in the Highlanders up off the doorstep. It'll be 2nd down and 12 now. .10:08 to go in the ball game. Kelso just had a touchdown off the board. Again, a heavy backfield here with 2 fullbacks in a 3-point stance off to the right. Deep back is Hansen. And it's going outside. Hansen juking around, back inside, continuing to run hard, gets it down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be a gain of roughly 6 or so. Gain of 7. 3rd down and a long 5 upcoming.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Ball right at the 10-yard line of the Monarchs.
Lock it up, press it. We're in goal line for heaven's sake. Lock it up.
Pass. And that one incomplete. McCreary running a quick out route from the slot position. Ball doesn't get to him, a little bit short and wide. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5. See if Kelso wants to opt to try the field goal, and that's what they're going to do. Try to add to this lead. Already a fake on special teams with a punt attempt. Waddell will line it up for a 27-yard attempt, and he gets this one up and no good. It looked like it had the distance for sure, but wide to the left. Field goal no good, 9:13 to go. Mark Morris still with life. So 9:13 remaining in the ball game, folks. Again, start thinking about who you're voting for the Player of the Game award. We're going to be back here with the Cowlitz PUD post-game show, and got a couple candidates, I think, in mind so far. See if Mark Morris can add a few to the list. Fake handoff, and this one's going nowhere. Kelso has been able to sniff out the read option attack, and it was Nelson keeping it at the quarterback spot. No gain, and 2nd down and 10. Nelson still in there at quarterback. Bartel will be split out towards the far sideline. Covered up there by Carter Huntley ahead of this 2nd down and 10 play with the clock moving at 8:30. Mark Morris taking a lot of time here to get going, and we've got a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. Mark Morris will burn it. It's going to be their 2nd charge timeout of the half. They've got 1 remaining in the ball game. Tough game so far here for Mark Morris, at least in the physicality department and the injury department. A couple of guys getting dinged up along the way here in this ball game. Obviously, in these non-league games, you want to get out clean and with as few injuries as imaginable. Kelso been fortunate in that department. Doesn't appear, at least to the untrained naked eye, that they've lost anybody throughout this ball game. Ready to go here. Handoff. And trying to get out of there, unable to do so, is Hernandez Ruiz. Does pick up about 3. Third down and 7 upcoming. 8 minutes left in the ball game. Slot near side. Nelson drops the ball, picks it up, trying to stay composed, floats one out, and it's nearly brought in there. Back out there is Bilger, which is a great sign, and he's still a little bit hobbly, but gets up and back into the ball game, so good sign there. But Mark Morris opting to punt this ball away, 19-0, trailing with 7:38 to go, ahead of a 4th down and 6. Daniel Kobayashi will do the punting duties here for the Monarchs as they get in the formation. Kobayashi pleading towards the sideline for something. And we might get another timeout. And we do. Mark Morris burns their last timeout of the ball game here. 7:38 left. See if Coach Peck decides to change his mind at all about what the play call is going to be. But a much slower pace here in the second half in terms of scoring is concerned and big plays. Kalama leading Woodland at the end of the third quarter, 14-13. Over in the CWAC, Prosser leading Ephrata 14-7. Elma leading Centralia, who we'll see here next week against R.A. Long. They're leading the Tigers. Elma is, that is, 28-21. Whoa. Columbia River leading Seton Catholic back in the second quarter, 20-7. Ooh, I'm gonna have to follow along with that one. Columbia River looking to surprise some folks here. And we're back to action. Kobayashi punts this ball away, and it's a really good punt. And it's going to roll dead and be touched at about the 32-yard line.
Right, so again, our best personnel, no time to be playing JVs.
Keep my JVs safe for Monday so I can go stuff these
Yes,
guys.
we can ferret unless we put Bradley in.
Castle Rock leading R.A. Long 35-0. Handoff far side goes to Hansen. And Hansen met at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a gain of maybe a half a yard. We'll call it no gain since we don't have half a yard available on the score bug. But 170 yards rushing here for Mason Hansen. 2 touchdowns, some very tough running. Something to get Highlander fans excited about. Slot to the near side and out of the pistol to speed option, and it's going to go to the outside, cutting it back inside. Hansen stumbles across the line to gain, and he's going to have a first down. Gain of about 11. So add 11 more.
Yeah, that's our backup safety that's in there, I think, right?
And it's a first down. And it's going to be a handoff. Hansen looking to bounce it outside. Gets a good seal block, and the ball's on the floor, and it's picked up. And this is a live ball. Bartel with it, and Bartel is down at the 40-yard line. But Mark Morris comes away with the turnover. One of the very few things that Hansen has had go against him here in the ball game. But that is tough. The ball was very close to being out of bounds. Far sideline official right there did not see it that way. So 5:55 to go. And Mark Morris mount a very impressive comeback here over the course of 6 minutes of game time with no timeouts. Still looking for their first score of the season. Fake handoff option, keeper up the middle, and first down carry. Hunter Nelson gets it into Kelso territory at the 47. That's a gain of 13. And the clock stops momentarily. Technically, Mark Morris can tie this ball game up with 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and a field goal. And we do have a player down on the near sideline on Mark Morris Monarch. And this is going to stop the clock. And Mark Morris has 0 timeouts left. And not about to speculate that somebody's not actually hurt. There's been a lot of cramping and such, and yeah. You just want to see everybody get out of this ball game healthy. Louis in the Facebook comment section says Ari Long scores in the fourth quarter finally. 35-8, Castle Rock on top. And it says, thank you for streaming. You're very welcome. Happy to do it. Love being back here doing it. Can't see the number of the player that's down here for Mark Morris. But fans, thank you so much for being with us, for the free service we provide. And the coverage is help sponsored by some great business owners here in the Longview Kelso area. But if you're in a position to help out, consider a donation to the cause at N2 Media. Venmo and PayPal available. Venmo preferred, PayPal acceptable at N2 Media. Most donate, I think, I don't know, like 100 or so each time, I think is what it is. But $1, 50-cent piece goes a long way. Thank you all for being with us. Player up off the turf, but being stretched out. Still haven't been able to make out the number of the player being tended to. And it looks like we're going to get Aaron Ibarreta, the freshman, number 10, the student section calling his name. And head coach Mike Peck is a man of the people, apparently. Freshman quarterback Aaron Ibarreta will enter the ball game. 5'11", 165 pounds, all of 14 years old. And now the clock is going to run. Ibarreta getting the play call here from Coach Peck. So now we've seen the third different option at quarterback for the Monarchs. I had a feeling that we could see a few different options here in this non-league game against Kelso, and Ibarreta has a bright future written on him. And it starts here with 5:20 to go in the ballgame, 1st and 10 in Highlander territory. The freshman hands it off. Scooting out to the near sideline is Avery Elliott. Elliott gets a good block and gets across the 30, continues fighting to get to the 25-yard line. And it's a first down pickup there for Avery Elliott. And I believe he did not get out of bounds, so the clock starts. 5:02 left in the ball game. You love to see plays made, and slot to the top. Ibarreta has a tight end split off the left side as well. Single back behind him, and it's a handoff. And a big hole there, but getting kind of clogged up is Elliott. Elliott able to get about 4. Second down and 6. 4 minutes left in the game. Ibarreta going over the play. Kelso not in too big of a, Mark Morris not in too big of a hurry here, with Kelso leading by 3 scores. Ibarreta hands it off. Elliott being pulled down from behind by his jersey. That might have been the only thing that saved the touchdown. It's a first down carry of about 10 yards for Avery Elliott. It'll be first down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Clock moving again, under 3:30 to go. See if Coach Peck wants to dial up a pass play here for his freshman Ibarreta to maybe start his career off with a touchdown against a very good team from the 3A ranks. And Ibarreta instead tosses it out, coming to the near side, cutting it back in, and it's a touchdown, Monarchs! Avery Elliott from 12 yards out gives the Monarchs their first points of the 2025 season, all on the heels of Aaron Ibarreta being entered into the ball game. A little bit of a shot in the arm, I would say. And it'll be a PAT attempt. Interesting. Mathematically, you need 2. Kick is up. Kick is no good. So it'll stay 19-6. But yeah, interesting. Math says you go for 2. The touchdown graphic has been up on the Longview Memorial scoreboard for a very long time, but it's a 12-yard touchdown for Avery Elliott.
Yes, that's a very good point. Okay, let's go. It's getting onside here, Coach. You're like,
2 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the ball game. Mark Morris with no timeouts. Expect an onside kick here. Kelso definitely is expecting it. They've got 10 of their guys in front of their own 40-yard line with just one guy back deep. And this one is an onside kick. And it's loose. And it's recovered by Kelso. Looked like Caden Mendez who got on that one. So Kelso will have possession on the 45-yard line with 2:44 to go. Mark Morris cannot stop the clock.
yes. This is their starting group still.
Okay, so they still got their starting packaging, so make sure we're looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10 guys right now, Coach.
Need a corner, far side. No, we're good. We're good. We got him.
Russell, no, that's not a corner.
First down and 10.
Okay, go Vikings, 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 Vikings. We get Vikings in.
Handoff. Rutherford. Contact at the line of scrimmage. And he keeps chugging the legs, running through contact down at the 49-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
Clock number 2:30, second down, Kelso.
Listen, don't give them anything here. They've got their lungs in.
Clock down to 2:15 and running. Again, Mark Morris cannot stop it. No timeouts.
Okay, so we're going Ravens. Ravens. Shit, we got a freshman corner.
Oh, that's their best receiver down on this side, too. Yeah, they would.
Handoff. Rutherford met at midfield, falls forward, but a short gain of about 3. It's going to bring up third and very manageable. 3rd and 3.
And donated $350 to senior party.
1:32 left in the game. Kelso appearing on their way to their first win of the season and continue the dominance over Mark Morris High School. Again, this is the 49th meeting between the two teams, and Kelso 38-9-1 all time against the Monarchs. Looking to make it 39-9-1. Third down play is a handoff. Rutherford has enough, and that's going to do it. Rutherford with a 6-yard gain to ice this one, and the Highlanders can come out in victory formation, and they're going to win this one here 19-6 against the Mark Morris Monarchs in the opener. And, you know, honestly, it's just been kind of a weird game in terms of how it's played out. And you feel like that Mark Morris has played pretty even with Kelso throughout the ball game. But the big play and the penalty and the turnover, the difference in this one, as it often is, 19-6 after this kneel down. These teams are going to get out of here. What a ball game to start the season, and what a performance by the senior running back Mason Hansen for the Highlanders, nearing 200 yards rushing. Could have had 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 called back due to a penalty. He'll settle for 2, and Kelso will earn 1 victory here on this Friday night opener at Longview Memorial Stadium. Your final score, Kelso 19, Mark Morris 6. And these teams will walk the middle of the field and dap each other up on to the next opponent. Mark Morris will go on the road next week and take on the Seton Catholic Cougars. I'll have to look here and see. I believe that Kelso has River Ridge next week on the road. And fans, don't go anywhere just yet. Before you log off, type in your vote for player of the game in the live stream comment section. I got to believe Mason Hansen is probably going to be in most folks' minds. I think Anders Dahl and Zayden Hoover had phenomenal games here today, and the defense overall did a fantastic job for the Highlanders. But again, be sure to type into that live stream comment section, if you could, real quick, your vote for our Cowlitz PUD player of the game. We're going to step aside here for a quick audio timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment. I'll leave up the donation still again for everybody. Consider your small donations to the cause, Venmo and PayPal. Appreciate all the support from the fans. And again, make sure that you're following and subscribed to our live stream channels on YouTube and on Facebook. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Cowlitz PUD post-game show. Cowlitz PUD providing customers safe, reliable, cost-effective hydroelectricity since 1936. Cowlitz PUD proudly sponsoring N2 Media. this football season. Here at Longview Memorial, your final score, Kelso 19-6, and they're having a powwow over on the east end zone here, the R.A. Long High School side, as we say, and a hard-fought victory here today for the Hilanders in this 19-6 victory. A lot of unknowns coming into this ball game, I think, for both teams in terms of, for Kelso first, how are they going to fare with a new quarterback and a new coach? And graduating almost 2,000 yards in Aiden Montoya, there's a Montagna, excuse me. There's a lot to digest going into this one if you're the Kelso Hilanders, and they break formation and are going to jog into the locker room. But answering the call, I guess, as to who was going to replace Montagna was Mason Hansen, senior running back, and Hansen wasted no time making his presence felt. A 3-yard touchdown to start things off for Kelso in the first quarter on their opening drive of the ball game. PAT missed after the touchdown. It was 6-0 after that opening drive. After a Mark Morris drive stalled after getting it down inside Kelso's red zone, Kelso comes back and gets a 58-yard touchdown run 2 possessions later, again from Mason Hansen after a great triple option read at the quarterback position from Anders Dahl. Yeah, that made it 12-0. A PAT after is converted by Jay Waddell, making it 13-0. And then right away, Mark Morris started moving the ball up the field with 2 consecutive first downs. But then Decker Bartel, after a catch and run on his way down, was popped hard and the ball squirted out. Kelso coming away with that loose ball and getting possession once again immediately. And just 3 plays after their touchdown previously, it's a 1-play drive, a 45-yard, very, very long, impressive pass by Anders Dahl, dropping it in the bucket of Caden Mendez, and Mendez made it 19-0. Another PAT, no good, and that score held up until the halftime intermission at 19-0, and all the way down until the fourth quarter with about 2 minutes to go in the ball game, 2.5 or so. Avery Elliott finally getting into the end zone for the Monarchs. They ended up going with 3 different quarterbacks. That's the question that I think most people had when it came to Mark Morris this season as to what they were going to expect. The offensive line is experienced. It's big. There's some weapons on the outside with Decker Bartel, Daniel Kobayashi, and more. But I think a lot of people entered this ball game with some question marks as to what Mark Morris was going to look like at the quarterback position. And I think you saw a very good sign ultimately long-term here, because Hunter Nelson, the sophomore, got the start. He got the bulk of the work, and he really showed a great instinct to know when to hand the ball off and to know when to keep it running the option. And being it's his first varsity game, you love to see that. And coming into the ball game late was Aaron Ibarreta, the freshman, and Ibarreta quarterbacking when Avery Elliott got into the end zone with a 12-yard touchdown run. Overall, Ibarreta not attempting a pass as he came in there late in the fourth. And then Decker Bartel getting a couple of snaps at the quarterback position as well throughout the ball game. It's going to be a work in progress, I think, for Mark Morris to put together the total package of their offense. But I don't think it'll take long for them to get it done. I do think that this was a pretty solid game overall for Mark Morris. And if you take away some untimely penalties and some very untimely turnovers, this could be a very different ball game. I had some people whispering that, they thought Kelso should be given 20 points in this one, and I immediately snagged those 20 points up and was like, yeah, I'll take that to A-Lyn any day of the week. I think Mark Morris is going to be just fine. And for Kelso, the journey starts with 1 win. You can't win 9-10 games in a season without winning the first, and just trying to do it week to week. Kelso's going to have their opportunity to pick up a lot of wins this year with their schedule. They do play Bellarmine, they do play Bainbridge, they play River Ridge, and then they got their league schedule with Mountain View at home at some point this season near the end, I believe on the 24th. I think that's the Mountain View game for homecoming. A trip to Prairie is going to be a tough one. A trip to Heritage is going to be a tough one. I think Kelso's going to have some winnable games, though, along the way. And if they play like they did tonight, protect the football, I think that they're going to have a chance to win quite a bit of games. One thing, I don't want to complain, right? But I would say that Kelso had some opportunities to create some separation on the scoreboard. They, too, had some tough penalties go against them. They did put the ball down on the turf twice themselves. They're going to look to clean some things up. It felt like that. I'm not going to say Kelso let Mark Morris hang around in this one. I think Mark Morris earned, that on their own. But Kelso got out to such a hot start. They had so much momentum. They didn't score for the last 2.5 quarters of the ball game. They did have a touchdown wiped off the board, though. So, yeah, you could look at this as a Highlander fan as, hey, great, we won, and we won by 2 scores. But I think that it's a good opportunity for them to look at the film coming up this weekend and getting back to work on Monday and seeing if they can't themselves clean up a few things, which is what everybody's looking to do after week 1. So many interesting games going on here in these non-league contests. Very few leagues are playing league games right now, but this is a good start here, I think, for both teams. 19-6, not necessarily the cleanest of games, and a lot of, injuries. We don't know how severe they may or may not be, but, Luke Bilger down for extended period of time here. Avery Elliott was down in the first half. That was scary because it was right at the end of the first half, and it looked like he got a spike caught up in the turf, but he was able to come out and still be effective in that second half. And, you also had Brendan Brown go down on the offensive line. All in all, it looks like that those guys are going to be okay, but everybody's going to be a little bit dinged up. The defense for Kelso, I think, is the real story of the game. After we talk about Mason Hansen, if you really look at how Kelso played defensively, they played single high safety pretty much all game, and they were going to press the Mark Morris wide receivers at the line, and they were rolling safeties over to opposite sides throughout the ball game. And Mark Morris didn't really look to attack down the field often, but there were plenty of times where it looked like Mark Morris was surveying what the defense was doing and how they were lining up, and they were checking at the line of scrimmage and trying to take advantage of one-on-one opportunities down the field. Kelso did a great job of disguising their coverage and rolling those safeties over on the deep balls. Outside of the double pass that went to Daniel Kobayashi early in the ball game, Kelso didn't really give up much down the field at all. They really tried to keep this a game that was in between the hashes and force Mark Morris to run the ball, and they wanted to disguise that coverage so they could keep an 8th guy down in the box so they can play the run tough too. So I really liked what I saw from the Kelso defense here in the ball game, and Mark Morris equally doing some good things on defense as well. Giving up the big play, unfortunately, just wasn't one of them. Now it's time to name our Cowlitz PUD player of the game. And it's just too easy. It's going to be Mason Hansen, totaling 190 rushing yards for the Kelso Highlanders and 2 touchdowns. So congratulations to Mason Hansen. You are the Cowlitz PUD player of the ball game. And Kelso will head into week number 2 with a 1-0 record. Mark Morris will look to bounce back on the road against Seton Catholic next week down in Vancouver, 7 o'clock kickoff. But a fun ball game, and with 11:10 left in the fourth quarter, a late one down in Ridgefield. They're taking on Prairie. It's 30-30. If you want to jump over to the Ridgefield Athletics YouTube channel, you can catch that game streaming live on the Huddle camera with no play-by-play, but just video picture. So enjoy that. Yeah, a lot of fun to be back, everybody. Great time up here at the Longview Memorial Press Box. I just want to say thank you very much to longtime Mark Morris radio play-by-play man Vern Foster and company up here putting up with my loud voice right next to him up in the press box. But a lot of media coverage over here at Longview Memorial for this one, and I try to give Vern as much space as I possibly can, but Vern, a great guy and a gentleman, allowing me to come up here and bother him for the entirety of this ball game. So if you see Vern Foster, make sure you tell him thank you for allowing me to come up and set up next to him in his radio broadcast that you can catch on the Blitz. That's going to wrap things up for me, folks. Nick Sisson on behalf of N2 Media saying thank you so much for tuning into this ball game. Once again, your final score, Kelso 19, Mark Morris 6, and Mason Hansen, your Cowlitz PUD player of the ball game. And again, we want to thank our sponsors, Edward Jones and Ryan Littlefield, and of course our post-game
Edward
sponsor.
Jones is a proud sponsor of Longview Kelso Athletics streaming.
Never mind that. Something happened, hit the wrong button. Anyway, we don't want to end with a commercial, but we want to show the Cowlitz PUD post-game show again. Cowlitz PUD providing customers safe, reliable, cost-effective hydroelectricity since 1936. We're going to be back at it here next week at Longview Memorial Stadium for R.A. Long against Centralia. It'll be the Lumberjacks home opener and their turn at the new stadium. So hopefully we see you all again next week. Again, subscribe to our channel. You get the notification of when we go live, and we do have our schedule posted on our social medias so you know what game you don't want to miss out on. Thank you again so much, everybody, and I hope to see you next week. Nick Sisson on behalf of N2 Media saying so long and have a great weekend. Enjoy some football here. Yeah, got a lot of it.